Guys, how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing amazing. I hope you're doing great. Thank you so much for tuning into this live, and I'm looking forward to have a very smooth conversation with you guys. This is our first live actually for 2023. I think the last live we had was way back in 2019, and we're back here. And so today's topic, as you can read from the title, I'll just go ahead and start the live. And when you come here, you can ask me questions. And I'll be answering them here live, okay? So I hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much for always showing me love, always subscribing to my channel, always supporting me. I really do appreciate that. I'm 5 minutes late, but we are here now. I almost got late from TikTok, but we're here now. So yeah, I think we should just go into it. If it is the first time to be here, my name is Frecia. Welcome to this channel. We love you, and we welcome you with whole love. Here is where we dream big, and we call ourselves the Dream Team family. So thank you so much for joining the live today. And as I have said, I have my notes written down here, what we'll be discussing here today. And I'll be starting right now as we wait for many people to join, and then I'll be answering your questions as we continue. So the topic today is about moving to Qatar. I have done this kind of video before, but I want us to go through it again live, and we answer the questions live. Sometimes I may not see your comments. Oh no, actually, I see the comments on under my videos, but sometimes I may forget to respond. And so now here I'll be answering all the questions as they come. So today, about moving to Qatar, there are two main things that we'll be checking about moving to Qatar. Number one is things you should know, and number two is things that you should have, okay? I think we should start with things you need to know before coming to Qatar. So before coming to Qatar, there are several things that you need to know. And so now, if you know these things that I'll be guiding you guys through, that I'll be explaining one by one, if you know them now, you can be able to decide if you have to look for the documents that you want to come. So when we talk about things that you need to know, is number one, the most important thing is that you can come to Qatar as a worker, as a student, or as a tourist, or rather a visitor, okay? So in this video, I will be dwelling more on how to come as a visitor or a tourist, and how to come to work. And so I will start by talking about how you can come as a visitor. So as a visitor, we have two types of visas that you need to have, you must have. We have a visit visa, which is a tourist visa, and we have another one, which is a family visa. So a family visa is when you have family members here and they invite you, and if they're already here, they know the needed things that they need to know so that they can invite you. And the other type of visa is a tourist visa. So in these two types of tourist visa that can bring you to Qatar, the family visa and the tourist visa, most frequently asked question is that, can I get these two visas and come and work to Qatar? Can I get a tourist visa and come and get myself a job? The answer is no. For a tourist visa, you cannot change it to a work visa. When you come here and you have passed all the tests and the requirements that are needed for you to have as a tourist, you can get to Qatar, but you cannot work in Qatar legally, okay? You cannot work in Qatar, and there's no employer that can give you a work permit when you're already here. So what happens? If you come here to visit, you can maybe try to roam around, talk to people, and maybe get an employer who can employ you. And once you go back to your country, you can request the employer to send you the visa from when you're already back in your country, not here. You cannot do the changing here. And the other type of visa is the family visa. Can you work with a family visa? This one, yes, you can. If you manage to come here with a family visa, it is possible for you to work here in Qatar, but with conditions and also with some things being checked. So if you are invited here maybe by your wife or husband or your brother or sister, you have to come and search for a job with the family visa. Remember, you cannot work with the family visa. The only visa that can allow you work here in Qatar is a work visa. And you came here with a family visa. So what you have to do is go through the procedures that your family members definitely know who brought you here. And if they don't know, have done the same video before of explaining how to change a family visa to a work visa. So what happens, you will change that family visa to a work visa. So I have answered the most frequently asked question. If I come with a tourist visa or a family visa, will I be able to get a job in Qatar? With a tourist visa, no, you cannot. With a family visa, yes, you can get an employer when you're here, and then before your visa expires, and you tell the employer to change you from the family to give you the work visa. And so that is the two ways that you can come here in Qatar: visit visa and family visa. So the other type of visa, which most of us need to know about, and the reason you're here, is about working visa. So how do we get a working visa? How long does it take? How do we go about it? I'll be answering all those questions here on the live. And as we continue, if you have more questions, I'll be going through them one by one. So when we talk about work visa, where does the procedure start? Where does the process start? It starts from you getting a job. How did you get a job? I will go through the points that I always talk about. You can get a job through online application. You can get a job through the direct referrals. Like I know my company is employing. I guide you. I give your name to my employer, and they will hire you. And the other thing you can do is by using agencies, which will charge you some money for them to get you a job. That is also another way that you can get a job, and you will be able to move to Qatar. So when you're moving to Qatar for work, there are some documents that you need. Number one is a work visa. Number two, you need your traveling passport, of course. And number three, you need your work permit. Those are the major documents that you need here in Qatar. Now, plus some documents that are required from different countries. Like from where I come from, we are required also to have like we call it a good conduct. That is police clearance form. Some countries, they do not require that. So you will need to have some documents depending on the country that you have. But the three most important is a work permit, visa, and what did I say? And your traveling passport, and of course a ticket that will be provided by the company or by you, however you'll discuss. So when you are coming here to work and you have chosen the work visa that you want to is what you want to come, because you want to come here to work, you must have a work visa and the documents. You have chosen the way, maybe the agency, or you have decided to apply online, you have talked to people here, you have gotten a job. So now, after you know those documents that you need, I want to take you guys through how is life here in Qatar, so that before you make a decision to come, you know what really happens here in Qatar. So I will be taking you guys through like 5 common points that you need to know about Qatar. And number one is about lifestyle. How is lifestyle in Qatar? Lifestyle is just it's accommodative, and it's something that you can manage. Number one, you should know is that Qatar is a Muslim country, and for that we respect and value the Muslim culture. For us who are not Muslims, and of course we are also allowed to be here. That is also another question that I get. I'm a Christian, can I come to Qatar? Yes, of course you can come. And just to mention about that, in lifestyle, we also have places that you go to worship as other religions, okay? Not only the Muslims that get to worship. We are very lucky that Qatar gives us the opportunity to go and worship. And still talking about the lifestyle is that when we go to worship, in many countries, most of the countries, we usually go to worship on Saturdays, for those who are, you know, the Sabbaths, and for some of us, we go on Sunday from our own countries. And when you get here to Qatar, things change. We worship on Fridays because that is the holy day or the praying day for the Muslims. So all of us get to go to our religion specific places on Fridays like the others. And that is about lifestyle. Lifestyle is life is a bit luxurious here compared to some of our African countries. So when we come here, it's a developed country. You will find different things, like infrastructure is really good. They have beautiful sceneries. The country is surrounded by water. It's like an island, so it's a very beautiful country. And the other thing that I would want us to discuss is about cost of living. So when we come to cost of living, I would want us to talk about maybe like how is it to live in Qatar? Like, how is the cost of accommodation? How is the cost of transport? How is the cost of food, clothing, and all that? So, comparing Qatar with some African countries, like from where I come from, Qatar is a bit expensive, but we are paid salary that fits the lifestyle here in Qatar. Okay, so the lowest money you can get here in Qatar is 1,000 Qatari riyals, and okay, when you do the maths, depending on the country you're watching me from, that is the least money you can get. And that is like the basic wage that you can get. We have allowances. We have like food allowances. Some of us have transport allowances. Some of us have many allowances that can get that will be added in your salary, and you'll get more money. Of course, some of us also work for overtime, and you'll get more money. But the least you can get is 1,000 riyals, Qatari riyals. We are paid in Qatari riyals. So yeah, you do the maths with your country. I don't know exactly the estimate of $1 right now, but you can check how much is Qatari riyals to dollars, and then you convert to your country. Okay, so with the cost of living, how is accommodation? Accommodation is quite pricey per se, because I'm saying this because I have lived out once, and I know by living out once I mean there's some point in life I used to live outside my company's accommodation. Currently, I'm living in my company's accommodation, but when you live outside is when you'll know the reality outside there. Where for us who we live here in company's accommodation, we do not care about the electricity bills, we do not care about the water bills, we do not care about the Wi-Fi, we do not care about the gas. Everything is provided by the company, and so that is how we live. Okay, but when you get to live outside, or maybe you're coming with your family, you have a freelancer visa, and you are looking forward to search for a house outside, we have houses in different costs. Let me just give you a range. We have like a studio house is the smallest house that has a bathroom, a toilet, and a room, just one room, and has a bathroom, a toilet, and a kitchen somewhere inside there. You can get for as low as 1,000 riyals, and that is really, I don't know, inside places that you get 1,000 riyals. And then we have, after a studio house, we have a 1 bedroom. You can get from 1,500 also from, you know, the interior places coming towards the city. And then we have the 2 bedrooms, the 3 bedrooms, and like that. We also have villa apartments. We also have bigger houses depending on the size of your family. So the cost of living about accommodation is quite pricey, but also it depends on how much you earn. Okay, so I'm not saying like it is expensive. Not that I'm not saying it's expensive because there are some people who can pay that. I'm just saying it's pricey because some of us are here for unskilled jobs, and we get the average salary that we cannot make it to pay for some of those things. So when you get to live with a company, the company will provide for you Wi-Fi, they will give you food, they will give you water, they will give you electricity, they will give you everything. You will not have to care about anything. And then about transport also is something else that I should talk about. Cost of living. Transport is manageable, if I may say. Most of the companies provide transport to their employees. Okay, and if you are not an employee, you are maybe driving your car, or you are living outside, you are using Uber, taxis. We have different modes of transport. Like, for example, again, I'll give an example by myself. We have company's transport. That means company will pick me from here in the morning, takes me to work, and picks me from work in the afternoon and brings me back. You see, in that case, I have no idea what goes on inside there. But again, as I have said, I have both experiences. I have lived outside, a place where I used to commute with an Uber, and at some point I could walk because it was a short distance from my place to work. But in summer, there's some time that you cannot walk, you'll still have to use Uber. So when you check transport in Qatar, if the company is not giving you transport, they are either giving you the transport allowance. So back then I used to get transport allowance, but it depends on where you're living, and it depends on which kind of transport you're using, because it may not be enough by the end of the month. It may be less or something. So we have metro trains that you can, they are the cheapest mode of transport. Actually, is metro or car bus the cheapest? But both of them are very, very, very cheap, affordable for everyone. We have car buses, which are the government buses, and we have metro. Metro is like trains that you have here. They're also very, very affordable and very convenient. Okay, metro is more convenient than the bus, and because the trains, they are electric and they are underground trains, so there is no traffic, there's no nothing. It's just directly taking you to where you want to go. But the bus, there's traffic, it's dropping here and there and all that. We also have taxis, different type of personal cars like taxi, Uber, and many other different names. So that is about transport. It could be expensive if depending on how much you're getting and the distance you are going to. And the other thing I would want us to talk about is about food, still under the cost of living. How is food here in Qatar? How much is it? Food is quite affordable, I will say that. It is quite affordable, and we have the problem I have about food, and I always mention this in my videos, is that not all of us get our food, like our cultural food here. If you talk about Asians, we are in Asia. Qatar is in Asia. So other people from Asia, like Indians, Nepalis, Sri Lankas, Filipinas, all those people, they are more likely to get their food here because it's still Asia. But for us who come from Africa, it's by luck for you to get the food. Even though lately we have been getting those shops opened up to buy some food from home. But you'll find that food is, if you're buying food from home in a bigger supermarket or in a bigger mall, it is quite pricey. Okay, it is quite expensive. But if you're buying just normal food, you'll find that it's averagely there. Even if you are being paid that 1,000 basic salary, you have your food allowance for like 300 if the company is not cooking for you. So this 300, it can take you way, like if you are cooking for your own self, if you budget it properly, monthly, it can take you to the end of the month. But it's also very little. It has to be like you are watching what you're eating. You will not eat what you want. You'll eat what is available, because 300, it may be not enough sometimes, because sometimes you need a lot of things to buy. Sometimes everything has ended at the same time. And so, yeah, food is, let's say it's there. It's affordable for everyone. And another thing I would want us to talk about is employment. How is the employment rate here in Qatar? There are always companies employing here in Qatar, but listen to this. As we watch this video in 1st April 2023, we have shortage of jobs out here. I have been receiving that question, Frecia, is it really true that there are no jobs out there in Qatar right now? There are jobs. We will not say there are no jobs. There are jobs, but they are very, very few. Many companies have been affected by World Cup. In World Cup, many people came to work here in Qatar, and also, like, it was not only World Cup was only here for one month, but there are companies that had hired for like the whole of that year of 2022, still preparing for World Cup, because they had many projects coming up, they had many things going on, and so they had taken the employees from their countries so that they can come, get used to the location, get used to the work. By the time World Cup is coming, they will be ready to work. And so when World Cup finished, it finished with those people. Many people went back home after World Cup, and that is why we don't have jobs right now, because companies had many projects back then, but the projects were over because it was for like the World Cup time. For example, we had how many stadiums? Were they 8? I'm not really sure, I've forgotten. But can you imagine, all those stadiums had security guards, and each stadium had more than 100 security guards, even maybe more than 200. And the football is done. Where will they go? So that's why people went. And so for now, we have very few companies that are hiring. I don't know any for now, but of course, if I hear any company that is hiring, I always update you guys on my Instagram. So if you have not followed me on my Instagram, go and follow me, Frecia Wakabi. And in case I hear for jobs that are coming up, I will let you guys know. But listen to this. If you want to come to Qatar and maybe you have not gotten luck with the job, maybe the agency has not called you for the job, or you have not gotten any chance, be patient. In the second quarter of the year, we will be having jobs coming up. Second quarter of the year, I mean like from May, because we have a very huge thing coming up in Qatar. It is the international exhibition. The initials are forgotten, but we have an exhibition coming up in Qatar for the whole world. Like, we'll be having all the countries showcasing their things and everything. You know what an exhibition is. So we will be having that. Last year it was in Dubai. This year, was it last year or 2021? It was in Dubai, and then this year it's here in Qatar, and it will be a huge thing. It is happening from October. No, it's happening from October. It's happening for 6 months. So we will have those jobs coming up in bulk. Be patient. We'll get the jobs. Okay, if not from me, you'll get from the agencies, you'll get from online. People will start hiring very soon. So yeah, about that is about employment. Maybe about employment, I could also mention that we are paid the least amount of money you can be paid, as I have said, is 1,000 riyals, and this is only basic salary. And then with allowances like food allowance, which is 300 as per Qatar law. And of course, maybe if you're working for overtimes, if you're working for more than 8 hours. By the way, this 1,000 is for only 8 hours. Why am I choking? This overtime, I mean, this 1,000 is for only 8 hours work. If you work more than 8 hours, you'll be paid more. And that is Qatar law. Nobody will take your money, okay? I'm really sorry. So yeah, and then you'll have your food allowance, you'll have your transport allowance. If they don't give you transport allowance, meaning the company is picking you and dropping you, which is a good thing. I will prefer the company to pick you and drop you. If you have a choice, just choose the company to pick and drop you, because sometimes taxi fare is crazy. Ubers are expensive, okay? So the other thing I would want you to know about before moving to Qatar is about alcohol consumption. I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but Qatar, you don't drink like you are used to drinking in any other country, as per se. So Qatar, you drink responsibly, number one. And Qatar, number two, you only drink in specific places, not everywhere. So if you are used to drinking all over your village from your country, when you come here, things change. You'll not drink like that. You have to drink in specific bars that are allocated for that. And you have to be responsible. Don't drink and go out insulting people. Drink, get drunk, go down to the hotel, book your Uber and take you back home. If you are found staggering and misbehaving on the road, you are caught by Al-Fazar. Al-Fazar are policemen for this place, and you'll be sent back home, most likely. Okay? So do not misbehave. So alcohol consumption is there, yes, but in moderation. There are specific hours. They only open in the evening, and there is a specific age limit that is you can buy alcohol, and yeah, it's for everyone, of course, but in specific places, as I have said. And yeah, again, if you do not want to go and drink in the bar, there are people who are allowed to buy from us. Just one shop in Qatar, one department in Qatar that sells alcohol. You can go there and buy, but before you go there, you must have a license. It's a QDC license, so you have to have this license. And for you to have this license, there are things that you need to achieve. There are things that you need to have, like there is an amount of salary you need to have. Not everyone, like for me, where I stand right now, I cannot get that thing. I cannot get the license for buying alcohol. You need, I don't know exactly how much money you need to have, but it's a thing. Like you need to have some position of in your workplace. You need to have a license for that specific thing. You need to have some salary limit and all that. Okay, and also age, they check. About another good thing about Qatar is about healthcare. How is healthcare system here in Qatar? Healthcare is affordable. Why am I saying is affordable? We have one government hospital that is called Hamad Hospital, and when you go to register yourself in Hamad, with only 100 riyals, you can get a health card, and this health card allows everyone to be treated for free. Okay, you will only purchase medicine, and it is very, very cheap. It's like they just want you to leave some 1 or 2 coins there, but it's very, very cheap. So if you come here as a newbie, and maybe you came by freelancer, or even if you're watching this and you're not a newbie, please go and take a health card from Hamad. It's 50 riyals or 100 riyals. I think it's 100 riyals. Renewing is 50 or something, but it's not more than 100 riyals. And then you start, you know, you start getting free medication. It's free medication, but not for everything. Not for everything. But the only thing that is not free is like for these big cases. But other things, and if you do not have a health card, your company gives you insurance. Like for example, our company gives us the health card, and we are insured. If you are sick, the company will take you to the hospital, and yeah, something like that. The other point I would want to talk about is the exit policy. If you have come here to work and you feel like you want to go home after 1 month, or maybe you want to go home after 6 months, or maybe, by the way, the contracts here are mostly for 2 years. So you have, can you go home before the 2 years end? Yes, you can go home. But how? What is the policy? First of all, when you came here, you signed for a 2 years contract, but you feel like after 1 month or after 2 months, you're tired and you don't want to continue and you want to go home. You cannot wait for 2 years. You can go anytime. You'll just tell your company, I need to resign because of this and that, and they will let you go. But there's a but. You'll have to pay for your ticket. You'll have to pay for, you know, when you come here and you are approved to be a resident, you are given a resident permit. That is an ID, okay, a Qatar ID, and it's paid for every month, every year. You have to renew it every year, and of course they have calculated the money every month. So if you decide to terminate before 1 year ends, you will pay for the rest of the months that the company paid for you that residence permit, okay? And then you'll pay for your ticket, and there will be no benefits because you'll only be here for like 1 month or 2 months. Or if you're going back home even after 2 months, even if it's like a small benefit they had, they will give you. Number 2, if you want to go, if your 2 years have completed and you feel like it's not enough, you don't want to go home, maybe you don't have things to go back to, you just want to continue, you are allowed to. You can continue as much as you want until when you will want to go home, maybe after 6 years, after 7 years, you tell your company, I need to go home for vacation, and they will take you back. They will pay for you the ticket. And remember, if you decide to continue more than 2 years, these 2 years money you will be given back, or they will keep for you, they give you when you'll be going back. You can be given cash depending on the company policy, of course. There are this, maybe let me first explain what this money is. So after every 2 years you have finished your contract, you are entitled to get some benefit money, okay? You are entitled to get a vacation money. So you'll go home for 30 days or 42 days depending with your company's policy, and they will pay you those days that you'll be at home. They will be paid. You'll be given that money. If it's a whole month's salary, you'll be given because you have gone for vacation and you have completed your 2 years. But let's say you have decided not to go for 2 years, maybe you add more 2 years, or maybe add more 1 year. You can choose to take this money from the company. They can, I don't know, depends on the company's policy. So depends on the company's policy. Some companies will give you this money after your end of 2 years. They'll put the money for you in your account, or they will tell you they will keep the money for you until when you decide to go, and then they will give you the whole of the money. You get it? So yeah, there's also that option. If you don't want to go before 2 years, you can go after 2 years, after 3 years, 4 years. It's up to you. If they don't give you the money in cash, they will give you when you decide to go fully. So I think that is it. That is those are things that you need to know about Qatar before you move to Qatar. And also I've talked about the documents. If you're just joining this live now, we have talked about some things. I can see it's almost 30 minutes. And so now I want to go through your chats, or maybe through your comments, and see what questions that you have. Number 1 is, hi, how can I get chance to work there? Any connection there? Right now I don't have connections, as I have said, because there are shortage of jobs. But what is your name? But Textrans, hey, that's not your name. But anyway, if you want to get a job here in Qatar, please be patient. For this first quarter of the year, I have said it will be difficult to get jobs, but in the near future, maybe from May, we'll have many jobs coming up. So you guys be patient. Follow up with your agencies, follow up with your emails if you're applying the jobs online, follow up with my Instagram. I keep updating on my status if there's any job available, and you'll get to know some of those questions, or some of those jobs when they come up. The other one is not a question. You are a good person. I have watched your videos that you did for Icon Training Center. Thank you so much, Tesh. Thank you so much. So I don't know if any one of you have a question, or we should end this video here, or this live, so that it will not be too long and people can come and catch up with what you have talked about. Any other question? We have 2 minutes to end the live. Let me be waiting for your questions as I check if there is anything else that I missed to mention. And by the way, tomorrow we have another live, and tomorrow's live we will be talking about the jobs available. So I'll be taking you guys through the available jobs in Qatar, giving you the details. And how I'll be doing that is I'll be giving you the companies that are hiring tomorrow, the companies that are hiring, the details, the email, the addresses, and everything, and so that you guys can go and apply for the jobs yourself. So tomorrow, same time, be here. We'll have that conversation. Ada Amaka, is the minimum wage monthly or weekly? It is monthly. In Qatar, we are paid on monthly basis, okay? And they have said it's 1,000 riyals. I wish I had my phone close with me so that I can check how much is that in dollars right now. But it's 1,000 riyals. Just check how much is 1,000 riyals to dollars, and then you convert it to your country. I'm sorry, tomorrow I'll bring my phone closer. The other one is watching from India. Thank you so much for watching. Travel No Kenya. Thank you so much for watching from India. I really appreciate. So as I have said, tomorrow we'll have another session that we'll be discussing more about jobs tomorrow. So I'll come here with my laptop and go through all the companies that are hiring, give you guys the companies names, the how do you can apply. So tomorrow come with a notebook and a paper and a pen, write everything, write the jobs, the company's name, the information, the jobs that they are hiring for, and we shall go through that tomorrow, and hopefully you guys will get a job. And then there's one thing I like telling you people is that you be positive when you're applying for these jobs. Have a positive mentality, because if you go there with like I know I'll not get the job, or I keep applying for the jobs but I don't get them, you will not get them. So please go there with a positive mentality. Tomorrow come with a paper and a pen so that you can go through the available jobs. Frederick is asking, is it true that mostly the agents stop to contact you upon leaving your country from Kenya? Yeah, it's true. Like you and the agency, the work is done when you have traveled. Like as soon as you have gone on that plane, you and the agency's ties, they are cut, because there's nothing else the agency can tell you. Like there's nothing they can do to you or for you. Even if you come here and you suffer, or you get challenges, or there's nothing an agency can do. They are just agencies. When you come here now, it's for you and your employer. There's nothing an agency can do. Even like when you start suffering, maybe you're not getting your salary and you call your agency, there's nothing they can do. You just have to deal with it here when you're here. So it's true. You and your agency, you cut ties in your country's airport before you come here. There's another question. Hi Retman, so you're doing a great job, sis. I will be glad to meet you over there from your live. I didn't say that. I've learned a lot. Can't wait for tomorrow's session. Oh, thank you so much. I would really love to see you guys here. And for those guys who I have met outside these streets, I really appreciate meeting you guys. You guys saying hi to me, it means a lot. I take that so personal. I really appreciate that. Any other question, or we do the live? We finish the live. I'm watching from industry area in Qatar, dear. I love your videos. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me and watching me and showing me love. I really like it that I give this information and it goes to help someone out there. So I'm honored. Do you know of any agents that can help Nigerians to Qatar? I'm sorry, I don't know that. I don't know that. And then also something else, you know, some of this information I would know if I want to, but I really don't like putting myself in that position of conversing with the agents. Like I have many people who are sending me emails, even DMs on Instagram, telling me I am an agent from this country. I would want us to work together. I'm an agent from Ghana. The other day I got from Tanzania, from Rwanda. But I don't like relating with these agencies, because for me, why would I believe them and then bring for you people here? I don't like giving false information or information that I don't know for sure. So I wouldn't trust an agency. If I have not worked with them, if they have not brought me, and I saw that they brought me here, I cannot advise you people. Yeah. Or maybe they brought someone that I know, maybe a workmate, a roommate, or someone, a friend, I can recommend. But without that, I would really fear to recommend, because I don't want you guys to lose your money. I don't want you guys to lose your money and then start saying Freshia sent you to that agent. They are working together. They are stealing and all that. No. So the other question. Thank you for today's session. Looking forward to tomorrow's session. Thank you, Frederick. See you tomorrow. Any other question? No. We are now at 34 minutes. We are closing the live at 35 minutes if there will be no other question, and that will be amazing, so that people can catch up with the video nicely, you know, to avoid it being too long. And so yeah, I hope you guys have loved this live, or maybe you have learned something. For those who are just joining, we are almost ending this live. We have a minute. You are late. Yeah, and tomorrow, as I have said, we'll have another session tomorrow. Tomorrow's session will be us going through the available jobs, and I'll be giving you the company names. I'll be giving you the company details, the job positions. So tomorrow, same time, be here, depending with the time that you are watching me from wherever you are. Be here, and we shall catch up with the jobs available right now. Okay. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this live. I really appreciate. Let's meet tomorrow, and hopefully we shall be doing this more and more often, because it has been a long time, and I hope it will be beneficial, in short. Thank you so much for watching this video until this end. Share with your friends and family who missed this information. Let's meet tomorrow, same time, same place. Until the next one, bye bye.